Frack on. Welcome to another episode of Frack the Canon. I am joined by the coolest motherfucker around, my brother from another mother, all the way from Milwaukee, Mr. CJ McCree. How you doing, sir?
What's my name?
CJ McCree. I'm sorry. Ask me again. Ask me again.
What's my name?
Shazam. And that's what we're talking about. Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods. I like this movie. A lot of people when it came out, and wish we only see it right now because we forgot it came out on video and HBO Max. Because I saw it in theaters and I liked it. I just forgot to go see it again because I don't know why. CJ, what did you think?
I thought it was okay. Yeah, you definitely are higher on this movie than me, but you were also higher on the last movie than me.
Yeah.
And I like both of the movies around the same. Like I I think both of them are okay. I think they both have things that I found them like I've enjoyed movies less, you know what I mean, kind of a thing, you know what I mean. Like I had a fine time watching them, you know what I mean. And one thing that I found weird stylistically about the first one, this time like they still did it, but I didn't find it weird. I felt like they just kind of maybe carved their own Shazam style out. Like, you remember in the first Shazam, the scene where the seven deadly sins come out and like massacre that whole boardroom full of like
Yeah.
freaking CEO like type people. And that
Mm-hmm.
scene was so tonally weird for me because it felt like something straight out of a horror movie, and it was semi horrifying. Like, and you hear like you know what I mean? Like the slaughter and massacre, but like it was like a PG movie, right? So there's like no blood and like so to me, like that scene was so tonally weird. It's like, why are you they're like going out of their way to find ways to not show the gore, but they really want you to know that it's happening. So I'm just like, why is this scene even in this movie? It's so tonally weird. Like I can tell you want a really gory scene in a children's movie that like you also made, like you also want to make a children's movie. So it's like this in this movie, they kind of kept the same tone, but like I digested it better because I'm just like, you know what? I guess this is just the Shazam style is to have this freaking gory children's movies. You know what I mean? Like, like so it didn't hit me. I was just like, okay, well, I accept it now. Like, this is just what you guys are going for, kind of.
No, definitely, because I remember thinking, because I remember that scene reminded me of Spider-Man 2, where Dr. Octopus go crazy and killed everyone in the. But I'm like,
Uh,
this was even gorier. It kind of felt like in Power Rangers where they go to the Japanese footage, they're like, here's some blood, so we'll cut to the shadow, or we'll cut to like something else happening. Yeah, I felt I liked this movie a lot. I liked it a lot more than the first, but I thought it was a stronger entry to the character. I thought it was a lot more character driven, in my opinion. What I liked about it too was, I'm a Greek mythology fan. I wrote a Greek script in film school, like a shot. Um, so I'm like, them leaning into the Greek mythology part was a big plus for me. The daughters of Atlas, um, and then using the mythology of the Golden Apple, that was pretty cool. I do have some issues though with the movie, with the end of like the final act and the resolution for that. Um, but yeah, what about you? We'll talk about that as we go along.
let's see. I thought it was cool. I liked as I'm thinking about like the villains, right? Like I like menacing villains. I like when you have a villain that like they do stuff that like causes problems, right? Like in some way for the hero or for humanity or whatever. If you got a superhero, what is it? He has to stop a villain. So I like it when you have this villain, like they are a problem, and these villains were a problem. I thought it was cool that they had like this sort of infighting thing, but at the same time, like I also felt like that was kind of like needlessly complicated. Like in the same fashion, you could have just done with one of them, right? Like why wasn't it just Lucy Liu, like the bad one, right? You know what I mean? Like why did we need three of them to like complicate the plot? You know what I mean? Like we didn't need a girlfriend for Freddie, like who was 300 years old, but she's dating a high schooler.
Probably. It got to
Right?
be right.
When we didn't need, you know what I mean, Helen Mirren to like literally just be a cage for the bomb at the end, kind of a thing. Like, um, but like it was fine, right? Too like, but it was just like it was like screen time that we could have used to like further like Billy's arc that they kind of had in this movie. And I say kind of like because right, like we see it in the beginning where it's like you get the idea that he's gonna age out soon, and he's afraid of abandonment. He has abandonment issues, right? Because his mom abandoned him, right? Like from the first movie. So yeah, he's developed some abandonment issues. Um and like he doesn't want and he's being like really, clingy and like hovering and like not wanting to like let his newfound family go or whatever. And I feel like we see that a little bit. We get a conversation about that in the beginning, and then we get like it kind of bookended at the end. But I feel like we didn't have to spend time like dealing with these sisters bickering with each other. We could have delved more into that like aspect, you know what I mean, and like and flesh that out a little bit more.
Totally agree. That was definitely a big issue. Was like, well, why? Yeah, just come in, be bad guys, and I kind of like the love story with. I kind of liked it. I'm like, ooh, I like me a milf. Um, some I had this the one issue that to me persists that was in the first one too was how Zach Levi and the kid played Billy Batson. I'm like, they were still completely, they were never on the same page. I'm like,
It was almost worse in this one.
it really was, dude. It really was because I think they gave him more screen time as Zach Levi. So, but when he was there, I'm like, dude, like it was so jarring. Like,
It's like,
um,
wow, like that you didn't even read any of the feedback, huh?
nope, we'll just keep with it. Like, we have a system that works. Like,
All right.
one thing I didn't like though was also I liked him in the first movie, but I found him like a little bit like Flash said to Flash, "You're abrasive and what was it? And
Oh, yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I forgot the exact line.
he's so abrasive and hard or strong. I'm like coming off too abrasive. I'm like yeah. I'm like I felt like giving him also Freddy some more screen time as both games. I'm like I know that's not what I wanted. Give me more of him.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because of that character, just because of who that character is and like what that character is. You know what I mean? Just like this motor mouth kind of like neurotic, like kind of a jerk. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like kind of character, and basically a little of that goes a long way. You know what I mean? Like,
but yeah, too much of that was that's um like one thing that blew my mind and I thought was surprised they did it was when they killed off spoilers, spoilers. They killed off Shazam.
Billy, come on. Freddie. Billy! He's over here! You We're a team! We're a team!
And I'm like, no freaking way.
yeah.
That was I'm like, okay, that's pretty. I've never seen this. I don't care Superman versus Batman. I'm not gonna give it to them. I'm like, no, but because we knew he was gonna die like a
What?
cat.
So what? Superman Returns though they do that too.
Did he die in Returns?
He dies in Returns, right? He dies in Returns.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. He
yeah,
does.
because he's in the hospital bed, and then Lucy Lou, Lisa, Lisa, Lois Lane shows up and tells him something in the year, gives something and tells him something, and then he flies off.
Yeah.
So that's right. I forgot about that. Oh my god, yeah. But we knew he wasn't gonna. We could come back. This one, I'm like, dude, like, how are you gonna bring him back?
And
And
like
then,
I feel like the same is true for this one though. But I did respect when they did it. I was like, oh man, like he died. Like, but I thought it was gonna be more like, admittedly, like Batman versus Superman. You know what I mean? I thought it
yeah,
was gonna be something more like, oh, you see something, you see the hint that, oh no, he's still alive though, but we cut away, kind of a thing. Like I didn't think that he was gonna like actually like come back like by the end of the movie, but
And
it's
I
also
hated how he came back. That really,
yeah, yeah.
that pissed me off. I'm like, you go first because I have some rants.
No, I don't have a big rant. It's just, you know, that was stupid, right? Like just a character who like wasn't even, it's not even her movie, right? Like she was, and like she wasn't even in it. They had the funny cameo, which was hilarious, with with the wizard.
You are a fool of a champion.
Earlier in the movie, I thought that was amazing, actually. But this, yeah, was, yeah, it was like there was like really, literally no real. Like they obviously had the little scene with was it the pin's name? I forgot. They had like a person name like Paul or Robert or something.
Yeah.
But
Steve,
like Steve, yeah. Like they set it up kind of there where he was talking about, could you send something to Wonder Woman or whatever, but like I don't know, like it just seems out of nowhere. You know, obviously what they taught us in film school, take a shot of what the Deus Ex Machina. You know what I mean? Like if there ever was one, this is one. You know.
Oh my god, yeah, that just, I'm like, she comes out of nowhere.
Will this land ever come back?
The stuff is drained of magic. Only the spark of a god can restore its power. And there are no gods left.
There is one.
Like they bring him to Olympus. Like I felt that his death was an honorable death. I'm like, nah, dude. Like he died a hero. Like he like he no a hero's journey, right? Like what we're trying in film school. Take a shot. Was that he did that? Like he died honorably, and I felt this. I'm like, what? Really? And her bringing her back. I'm like, why does she bring her back? Because she's a daughter of. She's a demigod, daughter of Zeus. I'm like, nah, frack you. This is literally a god within a box. No, no, I don't like this. Like,
Also, weren't they in a different realm?
Yeah, you're right.
Like, how'd she even get there? Like, how'd she even get there? Like they were like in a whole different, like I don't know, dimension, whatever, you know, whatever, comic books, whatever. Freaking. Also, how many like Gal Gadot freaking cameos are we gonna get where it's like just that, where it's just her showing up and smiling at the camera
with the walking theme song,
right? Just
the last she'd be like posting like this, like
right, because dude, like that literally was her cameo in the Flash, right? Like she, like
yeah,
she's like you know, I mean, you see the lasso does more than she does, right? Like we see the lasso, he's holding on to it, and then they cut up to her, and she's just like standing there, like, hey, I'm smiling, Wonder Woman again, like
men,
right?
You know, I that really grind my gears. That really pissed me off.
All right.
But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I just thought it was I thought it was a fun time. I don't know what the hate was. I don't know why people were giving it a bad score. I don't think it deserved a bad score. I like the whole
I don't think there's anything offensive about this movie. You know what I mean? I don't think there's anything that's like that makes this a bad movie. Like there are things that are cheesy about it. There are things that aren't fully fleshed out about it. You know what I mean? But you know, whatever. It's like it's also like kind of a kids movie too. You know?
Yeah,
like,
it felt like because it felt like a kid movie. It was very. I felt the cheesiness was on purpose. Like one of my favorite things that we talked about offline was when Darla's like,
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
and then it cuts to whatever else.
yeah.
I thought it was I don't know why people hated it. I thought it was a fun time. It's obviously for a family. It's very much all ages. It's not Christopher Nolan's Batman, right? It's just like it's
Right,
just them.
exactly.
It's a family movie. Yeah, no, I liked it. I liked it. Final comment, final thoughts.
No, not really. Just yeah, it had some enjoyable moments. Yeah, maybe Shazam will survive into the new DCEU.
Maybe there's a post credit where he's recruited to the JSA.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
I hope
Yeah,
so.
and we at least know that those characters are surviving because they're James Gunn creations, right? Like,
Uh, are these James Gunn creations?
well, not creation. I just mean they're from the James Gunn
Those
like,
movies, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, so it's we at least know that they're coming along because Peacemaker's coming along.
Oh yeah, he is, huh?
Yeah. And I can't imagine that any future version of Suicide Squad that we see won't be like the last one we saw, you know what I mean? And I can't imagine that any future Amanda Waller we see won't just be Viola Davis, you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, because I guess are we for sure keeping Jason Momoa as Aquaman in the Gunverse?
I don't know. No, I don't think we know that yet.
Okay. Yeah, I thought
Yeah.
because we have Aquaman to come out this year too.
Aquaman does come out this year, but yeah, we don't know how tied that is. Like as far as we understand currently, this version of Aquaman dies with the DCEU, you know.
Ugh, I hope not, but we'll see. Final comments, final thoughts. Alrighty, I like it. I think we'll check it out. It's a fun movie, good for the fam. What's our name?
Billy.
Fuck off. Oh, say it again. Hold on. What's our name?
Billy.
Frack off.